Okay, we should be good. I think, as long as the transition worked okay, which it did. Alright.
Alright.
Chris, stop playing Animal Crossing.
Not.
David,
I
stop
am.
playing Animal Crossing.
I am, but also I'm trying to.
Anyway,
Get into
hello everyone.
Twitch.
Apologize for my lower voice today. I have some family members who are asleep, so I have to keep my voice down. And welcome to
Some
episode...
terrible news. He lost his voice.
Oh, if I lost my voice, I would not be streaming today. I would just tell you guys, I don't have a voice today. We are not streaming. Anyway, welcome to episode 83, Fall as They May. Last we left off, the favored few had continued their fight against Bale, managing to push him out from Roselake and back into the Nine Hells, as well as forcing the rest of his army to retreat. In no short order, thanks to the combined efforts of the party, as well as the timing of the 9th level spell of Ezreal, basically hitting a reset button on the entire fight. The party made their way into the central oak tree that serves as the home of the Archdruid, finding that a bunch of civilians, including the family of Nathan, had taken refuge within its walls. After informing the civilians there as to the situation outside and that the threat had been thwarted, cheers and cries went out for the favored few and Nathan before a quick reunion, and after a moment, bodies being carried out that had been managed to be saved, among them the body of Hildy, longtime companion, having given her life in defense of Roselake.
Didn't know that happened.
Yeah, because you left.
I have a job.
Well, too bad. Some conversation was had between the favored few, Nathan and the Archdruid, where she beseeched Nathan to continue on with the favored few, to lend them aid in their coming conflicts, promising him that she would take every precaution to ensure that his family, and more specifically his daughter, was kept safe in his absence. Also granted to Ophelia was a boon that she had been carrying with her her family had been carrying with them for many generations. Now granted to Ophelia as a show of friendship and a show of trust and faith in the favored few's abilities. And that's kind of where we left off, because I didn't want Chris to miss the opportunity to do some role playing if he wanted to. So we literally pick up right after the Archdruid finishes bestowing the boon onto Ophelia. Chris, I kind of had Goo chilling towards the back, as I assume that's what he would be doing at this point.
More than likely, I'm just taking a small amount of time to kind of say hi to Bosco.
Okay.
Didn't really get to do that while everything was happening.
Oh, sounds like people are awake.
Does Bosco come into the tree alongside the favored few?
Bosco, no, more or less would have stayed outside.
I was like, how well does he fit through the doorway? And
Yeah.
how does everyone try to look after him?
He would have been staying outside. So Goo, you go ahead and make your way back out. You see Bosco. He's kind of just sat in front of the tree. Back to the entrance, just kind of looking out. As when you make your way outside, you can see that there are people already collecting the bodies of the druids and civilians that couldn't make it inside.
It's kind of messed up, but oh well.
Welcome to war.
No such thing as a good war.
Hell yeah. Always such thing as a good war.
It's true.
The Korean War was pretty cool.
They gave us MASH.
Yeah, dude. Nobody died. It gave us match.
Alright, so you, as you approach, Bosco will acknowledge you. Just look forward and kind of bump his head into you. Which, massive, pretty big head at this point.
Hell yeah. I don't have any spell slots, so I can't actually speak to him. So, you want to come with me again? Or you think you should stay here?
Go ahead and roll an animal handling check.
Humbling.
20 on Jarrell.
Okay.
My animal handling is 31.
What the fuck? What's your animal handling?
11. I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, okay. Okay. Much like when he was a child, you get the sense without Speak with Animals, Bosco doesn't fully understand what you're asking.
Fair.
He kind of scrapes a bit at the ground. It's kind of hard without Speak with Animals, honestly, to understand exactly, especially because he's not from the last time you spoke with him, he's not really the single-minded animal that you had when he was a child, when he was a baby. I'd say you might have to wait until you can talk to him completely before you can get a solid answer.
Or I could go grab my good buddy Daytona.
Or you could go grab Daytona.
She's got spell slots left.
True. One of them speak with animals.
Would you like to
I'm not gonna say.
Would you like to go get Daytona?
I remember Daytona being able to speak to Dayton or to Hornet, so
Hornet.
yeah.
Okay, so as you re-enter,
Go ask.
So as you re-enter, you see your mother sat back in the same chair that she'd been sitting in before. She is still sweating at this point, as she's just barely coming off of having to maintain all the magic that was surrounding the tree. You do see that two of the druids have stayed behind and are actually in the process of getting waters and teas for your group, just as a moment of quiet and trying to relax. You re-enter Daytona. You were approached by Goo.
Hey, you can still talk to animals, right?
Yeah.
I need you to talk to Bosco for me.
Bit of an odd request, but sure. And she'll get up and just
We still
Look
get
at
the
you.
dramatic music on.
Yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
told you this is the new ambient music.
Dude, come on, it's so distracting.
Is
Yeah,
constant anxiety.
It's supposed to be anxiety. There's shit going on.
It's why I've muted it on my end.
Fine, I will for the moment turn on the
I will,
ambient
I will
music.
second that motion in personal value.
Yeah. 3 minutes. Anyway.
Alright, well I have to keep it on you regardless. Okay. So you guys go ahead and make your way back outside. Over to Bosco, who is still kind of just watching everything happening.
Just give a look
So
to Goo.
I tried asking him if he wants to come with me again, but I don't think he understands so well.
If he's anything like Hornet, well, bit presumptuous of me to even think that he's anything close to Hornet, but I think he will go wherever you want to go, if you truly believe.
Yeah, it's possible. I just
Okay.
So, Atona will go and make some movements over her mouth, and then kneel. Well, not really kneel to Bosco. Bosco is actually taller, so he'll actually kind of look up, even depending if he's sitting there or not. So what's your plans now? To stay? Or do you think that maybe you want to come with the group again?
So Bosco will kind of look over at you, and he'll say, I would like to come. But if they need me here, then I must stay.
And would they be the family that you have here?
He kind of semi-nods his head. Them. And the grandma.
I'll give a look over to Goo. He's willing to go, but it also depends on if he's needed here. If he believes that he's needed here, he's staying here.
he's just like his dad. So proud.
So proud.
I'm gonna have to talk to my mom. I was bound to happen eventually. Alright. Let's get back inside.
I think I'll stay out here for a little bit, if you don't mind.
Do yourself.
So you go ahead and make your way back into the tree, Goo. As you re-enter, you see most of the members of your party are currently just kind of taking a moment of accepting that the impending danger has passed and trying to calm down. You see your mother is more or less her eye kind of trying to rest. Her eyes are closed and she's kind of leaned back in the chair. She has a cup of tea in her hand and in the moment doesn't seem to really acknowledge anyone leaving or coming into the tree.
Oh, I'm not gonna bother her for at least a couple of hours, if not tomorrow.
Yeah, she's pretty exhausted. Oh, my hair in the back is standing up. Go down. There we go. Talking to myself.
Oh, Nathan, You're coming with us?
I understand that's the plan.
Get the emotional duties and I guess a newfound sense of really happening and needing to do something about it. But
There's a point where helping this place, it will never not matter, but there's also a point where if I am, as I have been, deliberately keeping out of the greater danger in order to stay alive, in order to keep the fate that was my daughter's from continuing, well, if the world ends, that doesn't matter. She's still going to have to deal with that. And if the world ends, I'm quite as likely to die here as I am there, out in the world. If the whole point of all this, these sort of gestures and magic nonsense, if the whole point of that was so Alioth could have a normal childhood, then it does not make sense for me to be inactive and she doesn't get a normal life anyway. So we're definitely going to talk a bit tonight, just plans in case things go wrong and I don't come back, and so on. Definitely make sure that she's aware of all my magic items, and you can ensure those get back to her if I pass, that sort of thing. But yes, I am, I think, going to be able to do more out there with you than being careful here.
alright, so you get it already. How's everyone else doing?
Could be
Alright.
worse.
Daytona's still outside.
That's wonderful.
The cleric of the Church of Denia in Valadon has, he's said that he wants me to take over for him. So that's cool.
I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but it's definitely a hell of an opportunity.
Oh, it's nerve-wracking.
After all this,
What, talking to 40 people a week?
Well,
Yes, hopefully it's more later, but
I suppose since Valadon was destroyed, there's not that many people coming in and out.
well,
Still.
congratulations.
Thank you. I can't turn down such an offer. I can't. Well, what kind of cleric would I be if I did?
a
A lazy
happy
one.
one. A happy, lazy one.
It's fine. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Light it on fire and destroy it.
Don't worry, we'll burn your church to the ground so you don't have to worry about it.
Burn that bridge when we get there so that everyone else can no longer enjoy Denier. You'll be the last one.
Yay!
I will be the only person.
I'm sure the only person in the entire Crimson
Tri-state
Peaks.
area.
The tri-state area.
Tri-state area. Oh.
Worst case, you can always delegate. Find someone else who's very much enjoying being in front of a crowd. You write what they need to say, and then you can just do the administration.
That's
Send
an
your
idea.
letters to the mail when you.
Dearest congregation, I apologize that I could not address you after 3 years in service.
But, Goo, are you holding up alright?
Other than almost dying to a 15-foot tall demon in multiple instances, yeah.
That's good.
It's all good, homie.
I'm not exactly sure about how I feel just being here, but I guess I can handle myself.
Yeah. Of course.
Is there anything else anyone
Do
wants?
we have any means of making food?
Making food?
Yeah.
Presently, no. You could always make a fire outside.
It's too much work. I'll just eat rations.
I mean, to be fair, that is how you cook rations. You boil a pot of water and you throw dried meats and vegetables into it.
Nah, I'll just eat hardtack and jerky like a fucking pioneer.
You break all your teeth.
Like a pioneer.
That's what my rations are, is hardtack and jerky.
Okay. As you guys are kind of sat inside and quiet for the most part, just enjoying the silence. Dayton would have already seen what's going on outside, as the bodies are almost being laid, almost, weirdly enough, systematically.
Bonfire time.
You watch as one of the druids passes you, Dayton, almost bumping into you, and kind of just rests a hand on your shoulder as a quick apology. As they make their way into the tree, you all watch as the druid enters, kind of avoiding all of you, in the moment goes over to the archdruid and puts a hand on her shoulder and says, Lady Moonseeker, we need you outside. And she'll kind of stir for a moment. You can see she did genuinely fall asleep just from sheer exhaustion. And opens her eyes and rose real quick. And he goes, I sincerely apologize for. She puts her hand up and says, it's quite all right. And she'll get up from her chair and says, if all of you would like to join me, you don't have to, but we're going to complete the funeral preparations for those we've lost. Make sure she will, with the druid's help, make her way outside. Those of you who want to can join her. Those of you who would like to stay inside may.
I follow.
Okay.
Breaking up the Nike sneakers and Kool-Aid.
I also follow.
Okay. Ophelia,
Will also come along.
Ophelia, are you gonna stay inside or join them?
I'll join them.
Okay.
Group outing.
So you guys see what Dayton was basically watching happen, which is bodies being lined up systematically, rows and columns. You will all watch as the Archdruid steps out. There is a moment where her eyes are closed and she just kind of concentrates for a moment, and you start seeing tendrils of green energy slowly begin weaving their way off of her body and down into the ground. Chris, I think, is the only person who would even understand this because she's speaking Druidic.
About all the other druids.
I'm saying of your group. You're the only person who understands it.
Yeah, I know.
You hear her speaking prayers to not just one, but various deities of nature. Beseeching them to take the children of nature who have fallen and return them to earth, to the sky, to the water. And as she says these prayers, you see the druids remaining almost form a wide circle around the fallen. The tendrils of energy begin kind of weaving their way up and down through the grass and begin enveloping each body. And they begin to glow with a soft green energy. After a moment, it begins intensifying greater and greater and greater to the point that it becomes almost blinding to look at. As the light begins to fade as she finishes her final words, the bodies are gone, replaced by new tufts of grass where hooves and ash had broken the ground. And in one small part, a little ways off, you can see what looked like a small sprouting of mushroom. I'm also going to ban this bot really quick that decided it wanted to make its way into our chat. Yeah.
You're ruining my mushroom funeral, you fuck.
She slowly reopens her eyes. You see a green glow about them that just fades away. And as it does so, the druids surrounding the body begin. If any of you have ever heard, it's basically almost like a Gregorian chant. Very deep, guttural. They all just kind of begin singing in unison. The Archdruid stands there, just listening, eyes closed again. This goes on for roughly about 4 or 5 minutes before eventually they part off from where the bodies once were. And you see the Archdruid immediately kind of gives a long-winded sigh. It's been a very, very long time since we've had to bury so many.
Hopefully it won't happen again anytime soon.
We can only hope. If you'll excuse me, I would like a moment to rest. And she'll turn make her way back inside. She kind of just gives you a glance, Goo, before a soft smile kind of comes across her face. And she makes her way into the tree. Well, you kind of just stand there looking out at what just happened. Partially, there's sadness, but there's also a bit of interest kind of seeing how this seemingly alien culture to the rest of the world deals with their dead.
I guess I'll approach the circle of mushrooms, just kind of pray over it for a little bit.
You approach and you can see that there are, it's not necessarily large, it's a few tufts of mushroom that sprout out from the ground. You stand there, just kind of looking down. Is there anything else anyone wants to do in this moment?
Nathan would probably kind of quietly exit the scene. There were a lot of good trees that passed on that probably can't be brought back, and so he is going to sort of start saying words over a few of them, because they did fight for this place. It's not the same thing as like a full funeral by any means. And then probably in other places where just trees had been knocked down, especially older ones, like ones that were already dead, that were just sort of waiting for a storm, and then, well, the war came. He will actually do the like collecting of kindling to bring home, so that it's just one fewer thing for people to worry about.
You begin that process, and you are actually met by citizens and druids alike, who begin aiding you in collecting the fallen treants, as well as just any nearby trees that may have just fallen in the wake of the war. It takes a while, but you will aid in that process. Goo, Ophelia, and Daytona, is there anything you guys want to do?
Yeah, I want to form all of the tree ends and then use Ray's dead to turn them into a super tree Entitron. Huge. I know Luke walked away, but I would have tapped Ezreal on the shoulder and kind of pointed off to. I guess I'll make a perception check to see if I can find any spot that's
Sure, go ahead.
barely out of the way where nobody can see me.
Sure, go ahead.
You're not gonna fucking believe this.
That 20 again?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the DC was fairly low considering everyone is pretty much paying attention to collecting and getting things back to some semblance of normalcy.
It's more me telling Ezreal I'm gonna be over there. Okay. There's kind of a glaze in my eyes, and I'm not really paying attention. I don't even speak to her. I'm just kind of like,
Yep.
I will
have to inform Luke after he gets back again.
I will walk away from the party, go by myself, and dissociate into my vegetative, meditative state where I'm catching imaginary fireflies.
Sure. Daytona, anything you want to do?
Weirdly, it's, well, kind of the same, but not really. Just as Daytona did at the church, there's a moment where she'll pull the lyre out, cast levitate, and as she levitates, just continues to go higher and higher as she plucks at the lyre. There's definitely a point where, like, she'll stop near the edge of this great tree and just stay there, but she'll just stay there until either she's called or the spell ends. Okay. Just hang there.
And Ophelia, anything you want to do?
Scry to see if Dane's family's still alive.
Okay, who specifically are you targeting?
Dad Tona.
Dad. Okay.
Yeah, Tony.
Algernon.
Concentrate into your scrying spell. Your vision has nowhere to go to. You want to try anyone else?
See if I have the spell slots for it. I know I had at least one 5th level. Let me see if I have a second.
Okay. Remember, you can upcast it.
I don't think I have spell slots for that. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't recall you using your 7th. Did you?
No, I used my 7th. Teleport.
Right.
No, I have a second 5th. I have a second 5th level left.
Okay.
Mom Tona.
Okay. As you focus,
Wendy.
this moment, this time, your vision begins pulling you. As you once again find yourself in Swindon. Though not in areas you're familiar with. You find yourself... It's hard to tell. Make a perception check real quick.
Okay, 1 second. It's my plus.
The creakening.
Yes.
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 That's a solid 10.
10.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I rolled a 3. I rolled pretty bad.
You can't really tell from the scrying spell, however. You find Dayton's mother. Currently amongst others. Though again, with a 10, you can't really tell who they are. She's kind of sitting in a corner. Eyes are just staring straight in front of her. Quiet. You can see her hands are kind of wringing together. She doesn't look injured. Or at least no injury that you can see immediately. She's kind of stares off somewhere in the distance or looking at something that you can't quite see. That's all. And then your vision recedes back.
When should... I'll leave Dane to rest for right now. I'll tell him the bad news later. Let's see. I'll leave it up to whoever wants to do anything next.
I mean, everyone has pretty much said what they want to do, so if there's anything else you want to do.
Luke just came back. Luke,
Oh,
just to let you know, Goo tapped you on the shoulder to let you know where he went, and now he's off in
catching
his trance state.
I would call the Emperor, but you know, I don't have sending.
I'll follow to where Goo is then, I suppose.
Okay. So after you conclude your prayers, you make your way over to Goo. You can see him you can see him once again in that kind of vegetative, distant state.
after about 30 minutes of doing it,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a sudden shift of me carefully catching things
Mm-hmm.
to almost practicing unarmed strikes.
Okay. Ezreal, you will eventually be joined by Bosco, who comes and kind of sits next to you as you watch this.
I'll give him a nice little pat on the head.
Tilts his head, seemingly confused by what's going on.
I shrug at him.
He just sits there and
I
watches.
shrug at Doug.
Little pets.
Is there anything you'd like to do in the moment? Yeah.
I'm just watching.
All right.
Cat.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just saw Cat. Nathan's.
Catch.
Get.
Cat?
Sorry, I was like very carefully keeping her head just out of camera range, and then she was like,
it's okay.
"Oh, just go behind you."
I've held my cat on stream
Yeah, you
before
can hold
multiple
you can bring
times.
your cats on stream. It's okay.
Demeter has like crawled up onto my desk and in front of my camera multiple times, so it's fine.
Okay. So as it kind of begins transitioning away from midday and night begins to fall, though again it's very hard to tell, you will all be approached either separately or as a group, depending on if you would have met up after that time.
Daytona would have been 10 minutes up in the air and back down on the ground, so.
And then up, and then down, and then up, and then down.
No, that's not how levitate with the Clylyre
Yeah,
works.
unfortunately.
I'm probably just gonna trance against Bosco. Bosco me.
Okay.
Probably spending the evening with family unless like messages come for me. I figure it's not
Yeah.
like they don't know where I am.
Exactly. Be approached. Each of the druids who approach you is having the same message, that your presence is being requested. Your presence is being requested in front of the oak tree. Dayton, for you, who has just kind of been hanging out there, you've been kind of absentmindedly watching as they've been getting tables and chairs and foods and drinks set up.
I hope all of the seats are just little tree stumps.
More or less.
Hell
Yay!
More or less. Some of the chairs, you can definitely surmise that they tried to be a bit more rustic in design with the tables and chairs, but there are some finely crafted items, though a lot of it is just, here's a stump, here's a stump, here's a stump, you know?
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like if you've ever seen, I don't know if any of you have ever been in that place. Never mind. The analogy wouldn't work.
Okay.
Rainforest Cafe.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, basically. So Dayton, more or less for you, it's just kind of one of the druids walks away from the preparations and comes over to you and tells you that your presence is requested a little ways down from the tree. Those of you who choose to accept the request, you can choose to say no if you want to.
I'd have to be poked at by Ezreal, but more than likely.
A poke.
Just go touch his cheek, just poke.
Hey, dickhead, we're going.
The asshole, stop catching fireflies and punching at nothing. We gotta go eat food.
I like this alternate universe, Italian Ezreal.
Okay.
Battle's giving me agita.
So as you all reconvene, you see you're not the only ones who've been invited. You see there are more or less the soldiers that defended Roselake that accompany you. Although you were all placed towards the Archdruid at the head of the table. You see she has absolutely taken a nap at this point. She actually looks spry. As you're all sat, it takes a moment, so she kind of just comes around to each of you with a smile, and more or less a friendly hug to most of you as you approach. She kind of just says, to all of you, thank you.
Of course.
Go as you approach, she, understanding that there is still some tension, will kind of hesitantly approach you to try to give you a hug.
I will accept the hug.
She'll put her arms around you, and she'll hold you a bit longer than the others. She'll say, just as she says to the others, thank you.
Duty.
So I'll let you go, as all of you find your seats at the table, and the rest of who is remaining join. She stands at the head and says, it's been a difficult past few days with the events that have been happening, and I know we have lost many. But also know that I will do everything in my power to ensure that Roselake's defense is upkept and better than it was. We were not prepared for the Archdevil of War's appearance, but it is through the strength and courage of all of you here, and through the timely aid of the favored few, that we were able to push back the attack, save who we could. And those of us who yet live will carry on their memories and ensure that nothing like this ever happens again. She looks down at all of you. And I want to personally, as I have so many times, thank you all who have come in our most dire hour. And you see she reaches down at the table and grabs onto what looks to be this very odd compared to most of the more wooden designed more of the wood designed and wood carved sort of utensils and plates and such like that. She picks up this very ornate looking jug. You can see that carved into it are the different symbols of the nature-based deities. And what almost looks like, weirdly enough, like ley lines of emerald that kind of run their way through the pitcher, or through the jug. And she kind of carefully takes each of your cups, and as she begins pouring, the drinks she pours into these cups give off a very soft, almost multicolored aura to them. Daytona, Ezreal, Gu, Ophelia, and finally Nathan. She sets it down and then pours herself a glass from a different jug with a smile and holds it up to everybody. As they do so, the druids in unison as well hold up their glasses. A toast to those we have lost, to those we can yet save, and to the heroes of Roselake. She will take a drink. Everyone in the moment, there's no cheers or cries in this moment. More of quiet understanding, smiles, and it's definitely different to what you would expect such a feast to entail. Everyone here is taking in the moment, is still in their moments of mourning, but are taking the Archdruid's words to heart. And you can see there are smiles and light conversation around the table as different people are being served food. As the 5 of you drink from your glasses,
we all die of poison.
Die of poison. She was a secret agent the whole time.
I'm fine.
Everything's fine. I'm fine.
No, actually, it gets around. It gets around Monk's pure bodies. I'm sorry.
It's epic poison.
Fuck.
I'm sorry about that.
Epic level poison.
Epic level poison. Can everyone go ahead and roll 2d10 for me?
Are we doing 100 or?
Just 2d10.
Okay.
Or
10 and
2.
8.
Okay. Just typical Ezreal rolls.
Yeah.
Or T.
Hey, you want to know typical Jordan rolls?
Double
One.
ones. Unfortunate.
2 and 3.
Your brother's in the chat, by the way, Jordan.
Hey!
No
Is he
one's
bugging?
no one's been murdered by fire yet. Funnily enough.
They got to a point.
So you all
Almost.
finish your drinks and begin eating the various foods. After the drink, your bodies felt almost lighter, as if you're almost being lifted upward.
Busy lifting drinks.
These are heroes' feasts.
Yes.
At least that's what I assume it is.
Jordan got it. Each of you gain whatever you rolled in max hit points. For 24 hours, you are immune to diseases and poisons, immune to being frightened, and you make all your wisdom saving throws at advantage.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's good stuff if you can roll good.
I mean, it's good stuff.
Well, even if you
double
don't roll
ones.
good, I was gonna say even if you don't roll good, it's still that's
Yeah.
a lot of pluses.
So you guys are under the effects of Heroes Feast for the next 24 hours. After you, as it really does take an hour of eating to get through all the food because there's just so many different flavors, so many different textures, and really, it really is a feast. By the end of it all, as people are kind of walking away, helping clean up in areas, all of you kind of sit around, still near the Archdruid. She just has a very, very warm and happy demeanor to herself in this moment. She says, again, I truly can never thank all of you enough. If it wouldn't be too much trouble, would I be able to have a moment alone with Morton?
Don't think that'll be an issue.
Thank you. And she'll kind of wait for you all to leave the table, basically.
Dude,
I was meaning to talk with Ezreal by your own time anyway.
There's a moment of quiet before she'll look at you and say, I want you to understand something. I'm not a fool. I I have never doubted that you harbor resentment towards me. And I can tell just you being here is making you uncomfortable. I don't really think there's anything I could say that would excuse my inaction. Or forgive, or make you forgive my leaving you and your father.
It's not resentment. Mom, I've always known you were different. You and Dad. You're not bad people, but you're not parents. You did what you could, but you had your own thoughts and needs and lives you wanted to live. And in a way, I understood that. I'm a little upset that you didn't bother to check on me after you left. But I always kind of knew that you wanted to be back in, well, this. Even if I didn't exactly know what this was. I'm glad that my assumption that you were just gonna pretend everything was okay was wrong. I presumed that once you found out I was alive again and I knew you were still alive back when, that you would just try to act like we're a normal family. Not the case. I can see that you're really trying to put an effort into making something of what we are now, and not what you think I want. I'm not mad at you. I never have been. I'm also glad that I don't have to be.
She kind of takes a moment to mull over your words and moves her hand and kind of puts it on top of yours. I know that this is late. When all this is over, I want to make up for the time that I lost and the time that I wish I could have understood the ramifications of what I was doing. When you're someone who's told over and over again that responsibility comes before personal emotion, you don't fully grasp what it is to get rid of something that you wanted to have. Would you come back to Roselake after the war's over?
I think the visit here and there, sure. but have, I don't want to say certain plans, but at least a couple of ideas of things I'd like to do.
She nods.
No, sure, I want to spend time with her. If I can figure out a way to do it, back my daughter and spend time with her.
She smiles and nods. She'll look over at Ezreal. Kind of gives just a glance over. Looks over at you. I look forward to it. Even if it's even once a year. And I think you've made some very interesting companions.
You can use more adjectives if you like.
Let's just leave it at that. And I hope, for you at least beyond anything, I hope you can find happiness.
I think in a way I'm past that, but weird feeling, honestly.
I would like to ask you, I don't know if you intended it, but I was informed that you, Ezreal, and Bosco, you were acting oddly after the battle had concluded. And I wanted to inquire. You don't have to tell me, of course, but...
I go into kind of a odd state sometimes. I have visions of fireflies that aren't real. And I just catch them. Go and confusing, but enjoy it in a weird way. I have no idea why I do it.
Well, it's far be it from me to speak on a mind that I know so little about. And best I could possibly surmise from what little information I have is, you see, even in the moment, for all her wisdom, there's just, it's this moment of trying to connect with someone on a more personal level, be it family or be it just a person in general, that she's having a hard time wrapping her head around. Perhaps maybe you're looking for something. Something maybe you can't quite attain. But that's the best I can gather.
As long as it doesn't cause me any problems. Don't really need to know why I do it. But open up freaking people out.
I'm sure you're not wholeheartedly concerned, but it was more brought to my attention as perhaps something had happened during the battle that may have required attention. And I know that after everything that happened, I know that you and your friends were on the lower side of magical capability, at least availability-wise. Was there anything that happened that you need me to tend to?
Not that I'm aware of.
Alright. If there is any
Party, is there anything that I should remember that I don't?
No, I think you were fully healed, so I don't believe Bale did anything to you.
Yeah, we should all be fully healed.
Be dead.
Mm-hmm. Well, she'll get up from her chair, come over to you, put her arms around you and hold you for a moment. And she'll just finish with, just know that I do love you. And I do sincerely hope we get a moment to make up for lost time and begin building to something.
Me too, Mom.
And she'll give you a kiss on the head. Oh, go ahead.
One more thing I'd like to ask about.
Of course.
Is Bosco needed here?
I presume you want to take him along with you.
Like the opportunity, but I can understand. He's a lot stronger now.
I think taking him along with you would not be an issue. I will speak with the others up in the mountains. And I will let you know. As it is not completely my choice.
I also want to talk with my friends.
Of course.
First.
Of course. And she'll give you a kiss at the top of your head and kind of gently caress your hair for a moment before she makes her way back up into her tree.
And passes the fuck out.
Yeah, you get the sense a short rest is probably not what she needed, but she did her best. The rest of you kind of watching from afar will see Moonseeker make her way back into the tree, away from Goo.
During this time, can I
Yes, you
have
and
a small
Ezreal.
side?
Yes, you
Okay.
and Ezreal. Go ahead. Luke's already rubbing his hands. He's like, "Ah, it's gonna be the good stuff."
May not be. Do you have an idea of what we may need to go to now?
I don't.
Well, when we're ready to go to Swindon, I want you to call the dragons. Let them know I'm there.
The dragons. The
Yeah.
one you stole the artifact from.
Yep.
Why?
Because if the news is as bad as you think it is, but I don't think it is as bad as you think it is. But if it is, you need to have something of great power there. And what better way to bring out the hunters than tell them their quarry is in an area?
Look, I'm not going to give you up to some. I'm not going to give you up for any sort of dragon or anything. I'm not going to sell you out.
You're not going to be selling me out. You're just going to be honest. This isn't just about saving lives anymore. This is about reaching the end.
And we need that artifact to get to the end.
Should it matter if I live? What if I were to find a way for it to go all the way and hand it over?
Is that what you want? Is that really what you want?
It's very hard to answer that question anymore. For a long time, I thought what I've really wanted was stay out of the way, keep out of trouble. Eventually, the old man passes. I have everything handed in my name. Whatever happens, happens. But now, after you've told me that you weren't able to talk with him, it seems like it's leading to that point, but I also know we're not out of this fight just yet. There's a part of me that says I need to cash out now, and there's another part of me that tells me that I have to keep moving forward. And in both cases, I hate what's coming.
I know how you feel. I also have two parts of me saying something right now. I'm not letting you sacrifice yourself, and fuck that.
What makes you think it's about sacrifice? I've lied, wheeled and dealed my way out of bad situations before on my own.
Well, you're not on your own anymore, and you're just going to have to deal with that. Listen, if you really think you can trust yourself to explain anything to a dragon who doesn't want to listen and doesn't care to change, I hope you know that I've been through that, and it's not exactly the easiest thing to do. You're staying with us. You're an important part of this team, and I can't let you do that. I'm sorry. If that means we have to fight all those dragons ourselves, then so be it. We almost took down Bale. You think we can't take down some dragons?
Not that. I worry about what I'm going to see if we even attempt to go to Swindon anymore. I don't know how to present myself. I don't know how to lie or even tell truth. That's what's bothering me the most about what the next step is. Because I'm good at lying. I'm good at spinning so many tales and making sure that I'm able to stay out of danger just by using my words. And now, no amount of words is really going to stop what's coming.
You don't have to speak if you don't want to. Silence can be just as powerful as words.
That's all I know.
And that's fine too.
But we still don't know where to go. Even after this, I thought it would have bought us. It would have bought us an ally to help push more of these things back, but doesn't look like it's really happening. She's more interested in keeping her place safe, which I understand that.
Well, would you expect the Emperor to join us? We helped him. Look, Tana, it's probably going to be just as bad there as it is everywhere else. You just have to rip the Band-Aid off.
Alright. Are you sure you weren't able to reach him?
I'm sure.
Jeez.
What about Mom?
Yeah.
If I know she's okay, maybe things aren't as bad as I think they are.
We'll try to reach out. Just, basically ask if she's okay.
Okay.
Around.
What do you say? Specifically. This actually matters.
This is Esrael, Dayton's friend. If you're still alive, please let me know. We're going to be there soon.
5 left.
Is that it? Alright. Okay. Eventually, you'll get a response. Is my daughter safe?
Well, she's still alive. Yes, she is. Daytona's safe here with us.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, no response after that.
She's alive. She wanted to make sure you were okay.
Okay. I don't know what I would do myself if she was gone too.
I'm just gonna extend my arms. Vitamin product.
Daytona will just lean into you, arms kind of left at her side right now.
It's okay. I'm not going to abandon you. I'm gonna stick right by your side. Remember that. No matter what happens. Got it?
I'm still not used to these kind of feelings.
You don't have to be.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Now we're gonna need to pause because we're gonna need to wait for Chris.
Mr. Crispy Chicken to get back.
Don't talk about crispy chicken. I had lunch 2 hours ago, but that sounds delicious right now.
Oh, dude, I'm fucking hungry.
It's okay, we're gonna be wrapping the session about a half an hour anyway.
Are we? We haven't done
Yeah,
anything yet.
Short session today. What do you mean you haven't done anything?
Bro.
It's
It's-
okay if nothing happens if it's for the sake of character
Oh,
development.
For the sake of character development,
I
also
really
Eric
are-
needs to sleep.
No,
Are
I
you
don't
really
need to sleep.
telling me that?
Yeah, I am.
The fucking all I want to do is roleplay.
All I want for Christmas
Is you.
is good.
Is booze.
it's goo when Ezreal sings
By the
it.
way, here you are.
There you go.
You
Wait,
move.
Yeah.
You move
Charging
from
battery.
Dragon Boy to Elf Boy. There we
Elf
go.
Dilf.
Half elf.
Bitsies. Thanks, Luke.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Hey,
go,
let's
It's gonna go right back to you once we get enough.
more manageable.
100 gay bits.
Yeah, more manageable mental issues.
More manageable mental issues. That's great.
I mean, am I wrong?
You're not.
From Dragon Twink to Elf Dilf. Is it an upgrade? Is it a downgrade? Vote now on your phones.
While we're waiting for Chris, Nathan.
It's a tardigrade.
As night kind of starts to come and you return to your family, your wife greets you with a very, very, very warm smile and hug as you enter. She kind of sits down and says, "She's already asleep. But I was sent a message from the Archdruid. You're going to do wonderful things."
I will certainly try. And honestly, that's all we can do, isn't it? Times
see.
like this.
She chuckles.
You've been keeping heart and soul together, and you discount that either.
And I never will. And she leans in and gives you a kiss.
Kiss her back and sort of reach up, like, you know, like sort of after with like just sort of foreheads like pressed together, like, I will keep messaging you. I'm not going to forget that. And I'm sure, depending, you might get additional commentary from our sort of mutual patron, depending on how much she disapproves of my current actions.
Well,
But I will come back to you. If there's any chance at all for it, I will.
she just starts kind of laughing to herself. Well,
I'm
first of
very
all, if you weren't going to message me the next time I saw you, you'd be in a lot of trouble.
That's absolutely fair.
And second of all, we do still have tonight. And I'm sure you don't want to leave without saying goodbye.
I have no plans of it.
Well, I did promise you a meal, but as I understand it, you've had quite the feast already.
I did, but I would be glad to help for prepping the next few. It would be nice if to contribute what I can.
I think that'd be a nice thing before you leave.
So I sort of spend a bit of time probably just sort of talking with her that evening, doing a lot of small, like, sort of domestic stuff, like like the equivalent of making sure that the next, like, you know, few weeks of tea bags or similar that I helped make them, and just all the little touches so that I'm still able to contribute something even while I'm gone.
Yeah. And yeah, spend the next couple of hours together, more or less as if nothing was different, as she's very used to you being away for long periods of time. As the night winds down, there is there is a shift as she goes from as you two go from kind of the calm conversations to really the reality, at least setting in for her, of what you're about to go do and how different it is from what you would be doing when you're away. But nevertheless, she is happy, if not more concerned. And as the rest of you, unless there's anything else anyone wants to do? Okay. For the rest of you, who don't have a house here, you will be given living spaces for the time being. Comfortable and very spacious, so you don't have to sleep on the ground in your sleeping bags.
Hell yeah.
A well-deserved and well-earned rest will come to all of you.
Woo!
I think you just heard my sister scream.
He's really mad about this long rest.
They'd be very mad. She wanted you guys to die, actually.
Ooh.
Why would you fucking die?
There it is. There's the
Why
final boss right there.
won't you die?
The final boss is just your miniatures. It's just if you guys had miniatures, you throwing them at my sister until she goes down. That's the final
Like you think of is like the mini me's we had to step on yesterday, Eric.
We'll drown her in dice.
Oh man. All right, so oddly enough, for a lot of you, and you especially, Ezreal, you actually slept as opposed to trancing.
That's not good.
And all of you wake up a bit later than you would have liked to. Not so much later. It's still roughly the early morning. But it's not as early as you guys would normally whenever you were in a time of, crisis or needing to get somewhere quickly. For you, Nathan, as morning comes, you will be awoken to the smells of cooking foods. And you will also awaken to something being tucked up against you. And as you look down, you will see your daughter, fast asleep, but curled up into you. Into your halfling stature as best she can.
I do that thing you do where you very carefully stretch without actually moving the covers at all. Because it's like, oh, blood circulation in my leg, but also can't move leg. What do?
We're having issues. As you stretch, trying your best to not move, she will be roused just from the... You probably take it it's the smells of breakfast that are waking her up, not you. She'll yawn. Looks up at you with a smile. Hi, morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
Mom came and woke me up, and she told me to come lay with you.
I do appreciate it.
Are you gonna be leaving again?
I will, for a while. But the hope is that when I do come back, I won't have to leave again.
She smiles and hugs you and says, I'd really like that.
And so would I, pumpkin, so would I. And then 3 months later, you'll be annoyed at me and you'll want me out from underfoot again. I will come back with a whole sack full of dad jokes. terrible ones.
You see her
Terrible.
head.
And you know how you can tell it's a dad joke? It's fully grown.
She'll look at you and say, I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too.
She'll again say, I love you.
I love you more than words can say. I'm so proud of you. You are becoming a more amazing you every day.
See, she giggles. Which point the door will open and you'll hear your wife say, well, I'm glad you two are awake. Breakfast is ready. She'll make your way downstairs. For the rest of you, as you rouse the next morning, very well rested. Ezreal, you again kind of have that shocking moment of, oh wait, did I actually just fall asleep? A sensation you've not felt for quite a few months, actually. But in a sort of similar fashion, as you all awake, there will be some individuals, citizens of the town, who will come in with bed trays for each of you, with meals on them. And we'll set them down next to each of you, before, with a smile, walking back out. And there will be a very, very hearty breakfast that will be had for all of you. As I will ask, David, are you still Aster, or have you switched back to Ophelia?
Still Aster.
Still Aster, okay. I'm guessing you're gonna do your thing where you pick up the tray and go eat somewhere else.
No, I'm gonna eat with them.
Okay. So,
Does the face underneath the mask, does it look different? Not literally, but, you know, it's still Ophelia, but...
More of like a resting bitch face.
Okay.
mm-hmm. So just more, more stern, more just... somehow more distrusting.
Gotcha.
But as you guys conclude your breakfasts, Nathan, for you, goodbyes, as your family will actually walk with you to meet with your companions. For those of you not with Nathan, you will find your way outside and kind of carefully find your way to meet up with your new traveling companion. All of you meet. You see one last hug and goodbye for you, Nathan, as they will just step back to see you off. Not really sure. You can see your wife's having the moment of, are they gonna walk away, or are they gonna use magic to get out of here? I'm just gonna prepare myself for both scenarios. But they stay out of your way, leaving you five to discuss what the next plan is.
We have a concern I'd like to ask about. Aster, you can teleport 8 people? So I guess with Nathan that makes 6, including Hornet. Do you all think it would be better to leave 2 spots open, or we bring Bosco?
That's up to you.
think Bosco would make a lovely addition.
Just, I'd like having the option to bring more people out of a bad scenario. Kinda seems like we're gonna be doing that a lot.
What you should ask
And I
is,
see the value of keeping him out of danger. I mean, he can fend for himself, but I still don't want to endanger him.
If we ever leave him behind, I can always ask Denia to bring him back. Worked once.
As
Well,
much
not
as I
again, but
like
still.
that as a fun option, I don't see it working.
It's kind of
He's
strange
twice.
that the High Cleric of Denia, all they ask from him is, giving them random animals. Quite interesting.
Hornet
Well,
is not
when-
random.
When you're in need of a random animal, Denia's the one to go to, I guess.
Why are we calling Hornet a random? No, Hornet is
A
my.
good boy.
Well, to a god, he's a random animal. If I had a goldfish named Clarence, that'd be a random animal.
Well, of course it would be a random animal, and it'd be very weird because you already have a crow.
Raven.
Ravioli.
It's Raven.
I think
Oh,
I'm just
his name's
fighting
Raven,
the.
got it.
Exactly as you were saying.
If we do need additional spots for getting survivors out, I feel sure that I could certainly stand aside for a little bit. It's not that hard for me to sort of go off into wild places and sort of vanish. So if we need an additional spot, that would be something we could have even with Bosco along.
If we're truly worried about getting people out, it would be just as easy to go to a place and then have us stay and have.
Them go.
I also have to consider the fact that he's bigger than Hornet. And there's going to be more scenarios in which we're going to have to leave him and Hornet outside.
So, another question. This is just for Eric. Rolling question.
Go ahead.
So, say we have all of us, and that equals 6 people, including
Okay.
Ethan. So, what happens if we stuff him into a bag of holding? Does he still count as a person for traveling
Who are
with
you asking to stuff inside a bag of holding?
our halfling friend? So if we stuff him,
Person that will fit.
okay. If we stuff him inside a bag of holding, and he fits
I
inside
mean,
that.
I guess that would work to lower the amount of people. But do you
As long as we get him
Hold your
out in
breath.
time.
get 'em out in time?
Okay. It's like 6 seconds, and I don't know how much air is in a bag of
There
holding.
is no air in a bag of holding. You're
Yo, he
basically
can hold
throwing
his
him
breath
into
for
space.
Yo,
Don't you
this-
die in a minute?
The bag of holding has room. They have something in there for like how many minutes the usual bag of holding will last, and then it
Right.
gets divided by however many people are hiding inside.
Yeah, it's like wasn't in the rule like everything in a bag of holding is like in a space in the astral sea.
I'm actually trying to remember because I know bag of holding 3rd edition and
Okay.
bag of holding 5th are different.
Oh,
Breathing creatures inside the bag can survive up to a number of minutes equal to 10 divided by the number of creatures, minimum 1 minute, after which time they begin to suffocate.
okay, so he can survive for up to 10 minutes. Or
See,
for
that's
up to
not
9
bad.
minutes.
Yeah. As long as you
But
remember to
you
get him
also-
out.
The other thing is he has to have enough room to be in the bag of holding.
It's the bag
Mhm.
of holding.
That doesn't mean.
Well, yeah, it's the bag of holding, but the hole is only so big.
Yeah, and we fucking put fucking giant casts of ale inside our bag of holdings.
It's fair.
Cas-
Or at least. Hmm?
Casks of ale are fine. I just hope that any weapons you stuck inside were sheathed first.
I don't think we have any weapons inside. I think it's just random potion stuff, not gonna lie.
Potions, ale, and dead animals.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no,
Oh,
no.
they're
The,
the holding.
the ale is Falak's bag of holding.
No, we
Yeah.
have to. What do we even have in our bag of holding?
I don't know anymore.
All I know is I have a shit ton of potions on me.
It was very confused with Valak's bag of holding, and we were just for no reason it was more confusing than it should have been. Party loot?
Yeah, it would have to be under party loot.
Yeah, everything in the party
Because-
loot.
I really hope you guys have been emptying that as you've been using stuff. Because I'm not doing it.
I don't know if we've
Oh,
used this
yeah.
stuff because we just kind of forgot about the bag of
I was
holding.
gonna say, like, I recall we
Yeah.
got rid of the obsidian longsword way back when.
Oh, did
We
we?
never used the studded leather. I don't know if we sold the crossbows or scimitars though. Like that's
No, I think we kept those.
Anyway.
You bring me out of a bag of holding, and I just start throwing out crossbows. Like, what's this? What's this? Why was the safety not on? I have some ass.
They're gonna say that
Why
I
is
start
there-
throwing up.
Why is there a shape-shifting humanoid toy in here?
no. I think that's wait no.
Wait,
Yeah,
Do
who
we have
has
the
the
mask?
puppet? Who has that little puppet figurine?
The
No,
lady
yeah,
the lady in the
dragon. Yeah.
Right, you gave it to her, right.
Mhm.
We have the master rifle in there.
Had. Well, no.
Had, because
Yeah,
you guys sold
that-
it.
Yeah, had. I remember Nakax gave it away, but then yeah, you
And then you guys
gave
sold it, yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember us selling it.
No, he gave it away to the lady that had all the cool stuff.
Yes,
Wait, did we? I thought he took it with him.
Nope.
No, he left it behind.
Oh, okay.
Nakax left a lot of the stuff that he had with the group when he
Okay.
bounced.
Man, giving up an item that gives you firearm proficiency for free couldn't be me.
No, isn't
Hey,
it?
we
hey,
got armor out of it,
It's
Eric.
true. It's true.
The-
It's true.
I would say the problem was he had low dexterity, and of course, like the only other person with dexterity would be our monk, so it'd be pretty pointless. The only other individual that could have used it probably would have been Flanar, but Flanar
I
was
don't
not
know,
there.
man. Gun wizard sounds pretty cool to me.
I'm just
Wizard
getting
has-
Vietnam flashbacks from when I wanted to subclass fighter so I could be
Yo.
a gunk.
No,
Gunk.
my dexterity is actually not that bad. Not gonna lie. I'm a,
Anyway.
That's way back when.
I'm a 14.
To the present.
Anyway, to the
Anyway.
present. What are we just? Are you guys? All right, continue.
We're gonna split it, right? Are we? Are we?
I heard we
Yeah.
were going to go grab a smoothie from you. I'm like, wait, what?
Let's go out for frosty chocolate milkshakes.
All right, so you guys are gonna grab Bosco.
Foxy chocolate milkshakes.
I'm down.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys make your way over towards. I'd assume you'd be heading towards the mountains, as that's where Bosco lives.
Sure.
Head over to the mountains. And as you do so, you can see that there are two druids there who are currently talking to the guard drakes. As you approach one of them, they'll look over at you and say, hello. Favored few. The usher told us you would possibly be arriving today. We've spoken. We've spoken with the families here. They are saying that Bosco may leave if he so wishes. I presume you are here to collect him.
That is correct, yeah.
Very well. We'll go fetch him. And they'll make their way into the cave. And you see Bosco comes out a little while later.
While they're collecting him, I will ritual cast. Oh, I can't. Oh, yeah, I can. I can ritual cast. Speak with the aminals.
Speak with animals.
Yeah, we made momos.
Okay.
Only spell slots.
Alrighty. So as it happens, you will watch as that guard drake who is injured comes out as well with him. You will have speak with animals.
I talked to your grandma.
You're like cutting in and out.
Oh, I talked to your grandma. She said it's okay for you to come with us if you want.
He says. He nods and says, "I want to, yes." He looks.
All right.
He looks over at the injured guard drake and kind of rubs his head into her. And they kind of share a moment, and then you will hear him say, "Bye, Mama."
Wait, what? I thought it was his wife.
Make
I thought it was Lady Guard Drake friend.
Make a nature check.
Okay, still. Again, what's my nature one? So that's 15.
15. Bosco has been here for what roughly amounts to 5-6 months. You were the only one privy when he was beginning to be integrated into a family.
He's adoptive.
Yeah, this is his adoptive mama.
Oh.
And the reason he's
Got
bigger than the other pups is because he is an elemental guard drake.
He's special.
But
He's
this is
special
his
little boy.
this is not his wife. This is his mama. His adoptive mama.
You can't get married anyway. He's a guard
Yeah.
drake.
Wife. Just like when you have two dogs, male and female, and they like each other, they are husband and wife.
Yeah.
They're a little couple. You dress them up and
Yeah,
take pictures, and then
exactly.
ruin your life.
Straight people, am I right?
Yeah. But yes,
Like
this is-
swans mate for life too. Things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
dude. Hey, ain't you ever never watched
Yeah.
Doggy Divorce Court?
Yeah. Yeah. This is mama. This is his adoptive mama.
Alrighty then.
And you see her and the other pups will make their way back as Bosco approaches. And he'll kind of beat his head against you before he kind of gives into his old nature and just kind of jumps up on you.
Oh no.
I will hold him
Make a
as
strength
best I
check.
can.
I'll say you can hold him fairly decently. He is
Oh, this
very heavy though.
Yep.
It's that thing where when you have giant. I think we've already done this analogy. When you have a giant dog jump up on you, you're like, "Oh, you're so cute, but you're so heavy."
well, this brings back memories, doesn't it?
As long as he doesn't bite your shoes again. Still.
Pretty big. And with the fur, he not.
There's a stick bill, but there's a gleam in the eyes
No
where he
biting
looks
his
down.
shoes.
Okay, I won't. As he looks over at Aster,
Watching you.
he will cut off of you, Goo, walk over to Aster, and jump up on you as well, Aster, but you don't have the strength to keep him up.
Yo, my strength just got recently upgraded. Thank you very much. I went from a 5 to a 6.
Make a
Hell
strength,
yeah.
sure. Make a strength check,
Aster!
Ophelia.
Do it.
20, motherfucker. That's the rolled off my thing. Yeah, 18 minus 2, 16, motherfucker.
So as he jumps up on you and kind of rubs into you, you watch as Aster will reach his hands up and hold on for about 30 seconds, and then his arms are starting to, or for about 10 seconds, then his arms are starting to shake. But he's managing to hold Bosco up.
You doing good, though? You doing good over there?
Oh yeah, yes,
Florence.
I'm doing fine. I'm doing the best.
Fantastic. So you can go ahead and get us to where we need to go, right?
Oh
While
yeah,
holding
yeah.
on to him?
Where we going?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Hand him over,
Where are we
hand
going?
him over.
Bosco will get down after a little bit. So that is the question. Where are you guys going?
Are we going to Swindon?
Go to Swindon. You can go back to the Empire to see how they're doing. You could go to Valadon to just double check everything. You have options.
I would say what there's the secret option, the one that Aster/Ophelia saw, where it had the fucking beam of light during that one scrying.
Back to
Not entirely sure whether or not that's
back to Zythan.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Let's go to Zythan! That
Let's all
sounds
go
like a
die.
great idea.
Dying.
All right, secret option D. You guys can teleport back to Zythan.
For what?
I don't know. You tell me.
like I said, it's just one of those options. I remember it being a point of contention about
It's one of those.
fucking things you pass
gonna
by
be-
while you're just crying.
It's gonna be one of those scenarios where you look ahead in a game guide. You're like, I'm supposed to get a quest here, and you go there, and the quest giver's just like, you weren't supposed to be here yet.
So let's just kind of just that gently
You
off
know
the
what,
table.
guys? I'm making an executive decision. You're teleporting to Zythan. Let's go.
No! No!
Okay.
Go.
Given the options, Daytona will probably say that they are more comfortable either going with the Empire or to Swindon at this time.
Yeah, we don't be one around. You don't want to be around those dark elves, am I right?
They're fine.
Jezreel.
They're fine. They're doing fine. Dad said he was fine, so he's fine.
Yeah,
Hold on a minute, let me pull
Well,
down the
to be
John
fair-
Cena
to
face,
be
stick a
fair-
head in there.
no.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, are you sure about that?
Shut up. I think the
Swindon
best
was-
option would probably be the Empire.
Swindon
but...
is okay. So Swindon is Daytona's home. Valadon is Ezreal's home, and then the Empire.
And all three of them are having ongoing issues. We expect, basically, like.
Well, they
Yeah.
don't.
I mean, okay,
they're not
Swindon,
100.
no.
Yeah, they're not 100% on Valadon because Valadon did get reinforcements in the form of the Drow households who owed them a favor.
And then my cleric was like,
And then
everything's
his cleric
fine
did
here.
say that everything was fine. But can you
So
trust
that's
his
not
words?
even an option.
What if he was dominated just to say that everything was fine?
Shut up, Eric.
Well, then I hope he knows his safe words.
Wow.
The Empire is their
Double.
basically home city at this point. Their hub city at this point.
Block should, in theory, still be there.
Yeah, but that's one man.
Who's,
One big man, but one man.
whose man's is this?
Man, he's a big boy man.
And also, in theory, Flanar should be there, but also not entirely sure where he could be because it's still a fucking army thing. He could be halfway across the continent somewhere else.
Who cares?
I know, but just throwing out names.
Nakax could be there, right?
Not
No,
in the Empire.
I've talked it over with Eric. He's gone. He gone.
So what's the plan, guys?
Yeah, let's split.
Alright.
Mrs. Swan.
Did we check in with Empire to see if they're fine?
We should
Check in with
be.
Empire, then save
Yeah,
Mrs.
since I was
Swan.
gonna say that like last night, but
We
you
should-
know.
I asked if anyone wanted to say anything else, and you didn't say shit.
We don't have spell slots!
We have spell slots now.
Alright.
Slots now.
We could contact someone in the Empire to
Wait.
double check their status before.
Chris, you had the fucking rock.
I could talk to whichever of the four of them has it.
You should ring a ding ding them.
I believe you gave it to Xander.
Yep.
I will talk to Xander through my magical rock.
Alright, Chris, what are you saying? You know what, Luke, you do it this time.
Our thing.
No!
No,
I'm
no.
saying you. I'm
Fuck
saying you
it.
do the fingers.
Uh,
You do the fingers to play goo.
yeah.
Give him the finger.
Something about
We
causing.
helped.
Yeah.
Wait, I need the map. I don't remember the name of it.
Roselake,
I think we already. No, the David's
Lunaris.
Lunaris. I think we already told them we helped
You
Lunaris
did.
though.
You told him before you guys left.
We've saved Roselake. Planning on going to Swindon unless things are going bad there. So, status report, please.
Okay. You will get back. Well, thankfully, with the army presence here, we've pushed most back. But we're concerned that there could be things hiding. We're scouting, seeing what there, and then that's the last word you get. That's 25 words. Seeing what's there.
God damn it, who puts the fucking restrictions on us to be 25 words?
Why 25 words? This is so stupid.
Yeah, it's like, maybe I should make it 26 words or something.
They should make it like 25 and a half words.
Yeah, where's the Sprint Unlimited plan?
The Sprint Unlimited plan is the fucking cantrip where you wrap the copper wire around your finger and you point at a direction. Message. That's what it is.
I'm imagining
Only
spell designers.
send the one.
I'm imagining spell designers like programs where they're on like version 17 of it, and they're like, we keep dropping packets. Why? Every time we send between planes, we just lose half of it, and we don't know which half. And then finally just going, okay, what's the smallest amount we can always send? Say, screw it.
We can
Yeah,
always
good.
send a frame. We only sent a frame. Every time.
I'm going through a tunnel, and I.
You have to
It's,
keep
it's
your
the worst.
messages.
It's the worst breaking up sound where the words that actually break up is just the person just slurring the words. I am going through a tunnel and I don't know if I can message you later.
I'm in the Underdark, and it's scary. Fish people.
Why are you talking like that?
Because it's stupid.
Swindon, then, it sounds like.
Things are fine there. There might be more things attacking. I'm not entirely sure. We could go back. It's kind of up to what you guys want to do, but I think that should be our primary end destination, depending on where else we want to go.
Okay. So put it to a vote.
Okay.
I don't care one way or the other.
I'll keep my vote for now.
People are the fucking worst.
I always vote at the end.
Okay,
I always don't vote.
we'll do it this way. Raise your hand for Swindon. Okay, now raise your hand for the Empire. Alright, David, you're the deciding vote.
Yo, Luke said he was voting at the very end.
Luke raised his hand
My
for
thought-
Swindon.
My thought process is if Dayton is not fully enticed to go save, or Daytona is not fully enticed to go save her mom,
The thing is, it's not a matter about being fully enticed. It's
duty.
I was gonna say, just speaking as a player, Daytona let Esriel know like there's an anxiety about even getting to there. So there has to be a lot of convincing in order for Daytona to be sent there. And the only way for that to happen is if there's a group consent to, like, let's all go to Swindon.
Alright, so David, what's your
Okay,
vote?
I don't know that.
I've abstained from this.
It's 2-2. You're gonna have to choose.
Wait,
How
it's
about-
actually 2-2.
It's 2-2. 2 for Swindon, 2 for the Empire. You are gonna
How
have
about-
to choose.
David,
Oscar, where do you wanna go?
If you don't want to vote, roll for it.
Evens, Swindon. Odds, fucking Empire. I wasted my nat 20.
But it's even, and that's Swindon.
That's Swindon.
Yep.
Yay!
Eric,
Daytona
yes.
backstory. Oh,
Nothing like democracy.
Nothing like democracy. Alright.
Democracy left up to random chance.
Alright, so.
Isn't that how democracy is?
I demand
Yes.
a recount.
But
I'll sue.
Alright, so. As you guys join hands. Do you have work today, Chris?
yeah, I have to leave in.
I go through
20
my bag.
minutes, probably
I
sooner.
go. I'll go through my bag of junk, and I pull out the rock I got from school.
Next, weirdly enough, I'm picking up almost full-time hours because I'm retail and yeah. I have the next 2 Saturdays off.
Hell yeah.
nice.
And the
Which
best part
really
is
weird
this,
because
the
one
best
of them
part is
the day after
next
Black Friday.
next Saturday I also have Saturday off, so we can actually play a longer session if everyone wants to. But
yeah.
for
Hell
tonight,
yeah.
but for tonight, as you guys link hands, some of you just touching the heads of your animal companions. Nathan, there's one last big wave and goodbye. I love you. As you are all teleported at great speed back to Swindon, and that is where we're gonna leave off.
Can I do one thing as we arrive?
Sure.
I would assume that I be holding Bosco and my other hand with Ezreal.
Uh-huh.
I'm not letting go of Ezreal's hand.
Aww. We'll pick it up from that sappy crap next week.
We'll pick
Hell
up
yeah.
after this sappy crap where I drop 80 hellhounds on them.
Yeah.
Sappy
Grandpa.
crap, aka scrap.
Grandpa
Anyway,
is
thank you
a
guys.
missing book.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know today was more of a roleplay day, but hey, it was good roleplay, so shut the fuck up.
Whoa, language.
Roleplay, the best part of D&D.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no, the best part of D&D is min-maxing your character and doing damage. Everything else is secondary.
Yeah, who would do that?
Yeah. Easy.
The
David.
best part about D&D is reading the module ahead of
to
time
be
so you know what
fair,
happens and you can cheese
I
it.
have to do it to make sure people survive so they can roleplay.
Yeah,
It's
Sushep, you know that's the best part of D&D, when a player reads the module ahead of time and comes to Adventurers League knowing exactly what happens in said module.
Chewie? Is that him?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that afterward, but anyway, we'll pick this up next Saturday. We will have a longer session because everyone has the day off. Hopefully.
That was probably really loud.
Anyway.
Stay safe. See our social medias.
In downstairs, whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on Twitch, everything.
Everybody's
Join our Discord.
CR30 monster.
Join our Discord. Tell us how terrible we are at Dungeons and Dragons.
Fuck yeah, I need the criticism.
Yell at us. Just in
I
general.
need to improve.
But anyway, until then, bye everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.